Today we need to talk about Ray Dalio's Bridgewater $7 billion short position on European stocks. Welcome back to a new video. I am the Italian investor and today we will talk about Ray Dalio's hedge fund. Before we start, please remember to leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're new. Bridgewater disclosed 22 short positions on European stocks. The scary thing is that he built some short positions in the first quarters of 2018 and 2020, and he always got it right. I remember the 2018 short position very well because I was long in that period. I was investing and I was pretty much invested also in Europe, and I felt the pain. That was a very bad period for investing. And Ray Dalio got his short right. Same thing in 2020, of course, we all know what happened in 2020. But Ray Dalio always made clear that those positions were just hedges against a possible market downturn. And I think it's the same this time, because a $7 billion short position is nothing for Bridgewater. As of February 2022, Bridgewater Associates asset under management were $223 billion. So this short position is around 3% of the firm's portfolio, so a pretty small position because it's also diversified in a few stocks. They say they are around 22, so it's not really a big position. The biggest short position should be ASML Holding. This is a semiconductors company. This one was maybe one of the most overvalued stocks in the world, potentially. It reached a price-earnings ratio of 50 at some point. It was really high. Now, seeing how it behaved, I could kind of say that it was an easy short. The valuation was really stretched. This is a great company, one of the best in the world, don't get me wrong, but the valuation was really too high. Now the valuation is getting back to normality. The mean price-earnings ratio has been 25 since January 2011. And the last forward price-earnings ratio was 23, so now the valuation could be kind of alright. Analysts are pretty optimistic about this company's future. They expect revenues to grow at a CAGR of 12% for the next 5 years. And they expect GAAP EPS to grow at a CAGR of 17%. But for sure, the valuation is not super amazing. If we simply apply a price-earnings ratio of 20 to the 2026 expected EPS, we get to a per share value of 600 euros. And now the stock is at 450, so probably we could get some upside, but not so amazing. I would not invest in this company, but I would not short it as well. Let's keep going. The second position should be on Total Energies. This is a French utility. This one is pretty interesting because the forward price-earnings ratio is at its all-time low. But maybe, perhaps, Ray Dalio expects the company to get worse results than the market expect. And analyst projections for this company are not so great. They expect 2023, 2024 and 2025 revenue to be down, and they expect also GAAP EPS to be down at a CAGR of negative 10%, so the expectation of analysts are not so good. So probably the company is a little bit overvalued based on analyst projections and historical valuation. So I can understand why he shorted this stock. Plus, energy prices are at all-time highs, so they probably will come down. And then the third biggest position is Sanofi. This is another French company which operates in the pharmaceutical sector. This is a super stable company. As you can see, revenues are growing, but not really much, and the same can be said for operating income. It's a little bit higher than it was in 2016, but nothing incredible. The valuation looks kind of interesting. It's very close to the last few years' lows. Analysts expect revenues to grow at a 5% CAGR, and they expect GAAP EPS to grow at a CAGR of 6.9%. Probably these projections are a bit too high looking at the historical results of this company. Maybe this is what Ray Dalio believes, and if actually these projections are too high, the company could be overvalued, and this could be a good short. Bridgewater shorted a lot of European banks like Intesa San Paolo, which is an Italian bank. Then they shorted Banco Santander, which is a Spanish bank, and they also shorted the German financial giant Allianz. So maybe Ray Dalio believes the European financial system to be pretty weak. Then he shorted another pharmaceutical and chemical giant, Bayer, which is very famous, they make aspirin, and they also shorted Adyen, which is a payments company. This is a high growth company, but just like ASML, it reached some absurd valuation. At some point it reached a price earnings ratio of 170. This is surely a great company, revenues are growing like crazy. The CAGR of the last few years is pretty much insane. Analyst expectations are very high, they expect a 41% CAGR for revenue in the next 5 years. One very important thing to note is that we don't know if these positions are just an edge to some other position, so it's really hard to value these short positions because they could just be an edge, and as I said before, it's a really small position for the American hedge fund, so we need to be very careful when we look at these funds positions and we need to look at their sizing, because the bigger the position, the higher the conviction, and here the conviction probably is not so high. Let me know what you think about Ray Dalio's shorts, and let me know if you have any of these stocks in your portfolio. And please remember to leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're new. See you next time. Bye!